Alf, you ready to go? What's going on, sports card hobby family? It's going to be a fun one today. We're going to talk about which card would you choose with a $50 budget. We're going to talk about 5 cards in particular. It's going to be a fun one. We're going to be all over the place. Vintage baseball, football, modern, all the stuff. We're going to go through it. And so it shall be a good time. Check out Off-Centered if you didn't last night. It was me, Flippin' Steve, Neo Cards and Comics. About 90 minutes is what we do bi-weekly. Talking about all sorts of hobby stuff, arguing about the Super Bowl results, etc. It was a good time, so make sure to check out Off-Centered. Also, huge thanks to today's video sponsor, COMC.com. COMC is offering a baseball card promo for all of you that are getting fired up for baseball season. They're offering 30% off all select and elite baseball submissions. This promo does stack with fresh pulls, so you can get submissions as low as 35 cents. And it runs until March 8th. So check out my link down below in the video description as well as in the pinned comments to start your COMC.com journey today. All right, friends, let's play a little game.
I know you. I want to play a game.
5 cards on a $50 budget we will go through and just talk about pros and cons. And this is a participation. This is like a video poll, essentially. Participation is really wanted here. So I want to know in the comment section, which cards would you choose? And if not any of these cards, I would like to hear what that might be. We're going to start off with a popular vintage baseball card player, Ernie Banks. Of course, his iconic rookie card is 1954 Topps, but for 50 bucks, it probably needs to be one where like the whole thing's been run over by a truck. As Chris would say, baseball card collector, investor, dealer, and maybe there's like a tiny piece of the card left and you get that for 50 bucks.
But unfortunately,
but the 61 Topps Ernie Banks in a SGC 5 recently sold for $55. We got a little give and take on the $50 budget, so sorry about that. But the 1961 Topps Ernie Banks, I think for a lot of folks that collect vintage baseball or just vintage cards in general, collecting the history and 50s and 60s, especially early 60s stuff, it really gets people riled up, gets them in the feels, the nostalgia, and that sort of thing. So I think that there's a lot of appreciation, obviously, for the 50s and early 60s, mid 60s type stuff. Ernie Banks, of course, being an all-time great. So it's interesting to see a mid-grade copy here. This is an older card. This is going back 60 plus years for as little as $55 for a mid-grade copy. Next up, let's switch gears completely. The guy that just won the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes, of course, he's got a lot more cards available than old Ernie Banks. I just found one here on eBay that sold for $48, a 2019 Panini Rookies and Stars, Patrick Mahomes in a PSA 9. Of course, his rookie card is 2017, so this is a third-year card for him. But you know what? You might be a collector, young collector, or old collector. You just want to be able to afford a graded Patrick Mahomes card. This one under $50 to get in on Patrick Mahomes. And again, this could just be a card for the collection. We're not really necessarily talking about, do we think it's going to appreciate in value? It's more about building out a collection or just getting started. There's a lot of people that find my channel that are just getting back into the hobby or they're just getting started in and just trying to figure out, okay, at a $50 price point, what is available out there? And for you all that spend a lot of time looking at eBay listings like I do, you know that at $50, at $100, at $500, there's going to be a ton of variety in all these different sections. And so what do you think? This Patrick Mahomes card, a different one? Let me know in the comments. 2023 Hoops Tribute Rookie Card, Victor Wembanyama. The guy is looking really good. His rookie season, of course, he's got limited minutes with the Spurs. They're not going to give him 39 minutes a game to start off. They don't want to just run him into the ground. And this is pretty typical for rookies in the NBA. You need to get them acclimated to the game. It's a long 82-game season, and they need to get used to just getting banged up. Playing with grown men. Wemby, still needs to put on a little bit of weight, I would say. Hopefully, if he can put on a little bit of weight, I know he's not going to be Shaq, but if he can throw on a little bit of weight, I think that would really help just as far as staying healthy. I know a lot of people would point to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant has really been fortunate. He has had an Achilles injury. He's had some stuff, but for the most part, he's been fortunate to stay away from injuries. But also the way that his game is played too, when I look at Durant, he is more of that guy that can just create a shot anywhere on the floor. He's not necessarily driving the hoop as much as like a Michael Jordan or a Kobe or some of these other guys that just take a pounding. Sure, he'll dunk the basketball, but he'll do it on a fast break or whatever. Durant reminds me of Wemby, and Durant is just a great pull-up shooter. A PSA 10 for this card just sold for $50. Now, I know many would say, man, This card's probably going to go down in value as Wemby's going to have more and more cards coming out, a lot of rookie cards for Wembanyama. I think he's going to set a record just because they keep on moving up these print runs and variations. I think he's going to set some sort of a record for how many different rookie cards he actually has. But again, if you are maybe a young collector, you're a fan, you're trying to get in, you've got $50 to spend, you want to get a rookie. Here's a rookie card that's in a 10 grade. It's for $50. What do you think? All right, I'm going to group the next two together, the last two, because these two, they have a special place in my heart just for the time period. 84 Topps football. I love the design, and as well as baseball. So the design on both of these sets, and extremely popular in the late 80s when I got started in cards. But we're looking at the 84 Topps Dan Marino rookie card in a PSA 7. Again, I'm stretching a little bit on the budget here, $65 sale. And then the 84 Topps Don Mattingly rookie, an all-time classic card, very, very popular card, rookie card, PSA 9, a mint copy for $70 of a Don Mattingly rookie card. And that, of course, is in part because the print runs on 84 Topps, of course, just wild. But what people have to realize, that newer generation, is that 84 Topps Don Mattingly was looked at as like the next Mickey Mantle. He was looked at the next Willie Mays. He was that next guy. He was that next Yankee. And he was a great player. Don Mattingly delivered. He was a fantastic player. And so his rookie card, and I believe that's his only rookie card. I don't know if he has a variation or some other kind of set that he has as a rookie card. There's just a lot of those. So the good news is there's not 5,000 different rookie cards like there is with Wemby, but for Mattingly, there might only be one, but they printed that thing to the moon. So which one of these would you choose kind of at this price point? Or, I was looking at some non-sports pop culture entertainment cards, vintage Disney cards, a lot of them graded cards that are in there. I mentioned Jay, who set up here at Investabilia going back this past weekend. He specializes in a lot of those kind of vintage non-sports and with a focus on Disney cards, character cards, and they're in that price range. I've got some, Frank Sinatra and some of the old Hollywood folks, and same boat for $50. You can get vintage, 40s and 50s cards for Frank Sinatra for a relatively low price. So many different options out there. Which one of these cards would you choose? But also, which ones, have you've been looking at for yourself? Share that in the comments below so we can take a look at what people are looking at, whether it be, sports or non-sports entertainment, whatever it might be. I'm always interested to hear what others are collecting, targeting on their watch list. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.